Good evening and welcome to Stacy's Closet. So I'm coming to you this evening after church. Usually I do it before church, but today I was running a little bit behind, they're just tired, and so I was running a little behind. So I did not have time this morning. However, I was at the city, and y'all, if you were not at the city, it went down at the city of David in Gastonia, North Carolina. The power of God was in that place. So, with that being said, let's get into it. If you're here, that means you're here on purpose, which means you have a purpose, okay? So, I know you've probably been out today living your purposeful life, and beautifully. I pray that you've done it beautifully. One of the things that I do want to point out, I'm going to put this in the description. I had a couple of people, well, more than a couple, ask me about my nails. My nails. They are long and I love them that way. I don't talk about your short nails, don't talk about my long nails. And stop asking people, how do you do anything with those nails? Well, clearly I do everything just fine because they're still here. But the person that does my nails is one of my best friends, my sister, my road dog, my BFF, whatever you want to call her. I love her. I love her. And I'm going to put her information in the description on the bottom because I'm telling you, I know y'all have been just asking all kind of craziness about my nails. They are absolutely beautiful. And that is the most important thing that everyone has said. They're beautiful. So I love them. So again, I'm going to put everything down in the description so you can see for yourself. So you can check her out yourself. You can see her work. She is phenomenal. She is amazing. And I am not just saying this because she is my family. I am saying this because I am a nail guru. I love nails, if you can tell. And so if you do, if you're good at it, I shout you out. I think it's a gift. Now, okay, so let's get into what tonight is all about. Tonight is about forgiving yourself and moving on. So this is part 2 of She Ain't Built Like Me. So after that video, I had some people message me, and they were not all that excited because they said, well, what if you're the one that actually did it? So you were the cheater. And they said that they asked for forgiveness. And so they were like, but I'm getting pushback. I asked for forgiveness and she said she forgave me. But every time I talk to her, she makes me feel guilty. Or we get into an argument and she throws it back up. Okay. So one, I want to say this. If you've asked for forgiveness, is not just saying, I am sorry that happened. Nobody needs your pity. We don't need your sympathy. We need you to sincerely ask for forgiveness. Now, if you've sincerely asked for forgiveness, that means what? You've changed your actions, okay? That means you're not going to go out here and do that again. That means you learned from your mistake because you were sincere. So you're not going to repeat that. Now, if you're a repeat cheater, if you're a serial cheater, I'm not talking to that one. I'm talking to those that sincerely have apologized, men or women, because we know women do it too. I'm not gonna lie, I in a prior relationship that I was in, I was the cheater, so I was the bad person. So again, women do it too, and women, we're not just better at it. Because that would mean that we were sneakier, we were more conniving, we was more manipulative. I don't believe that. I think that that's equally given around. So I want to take that out. But if you sincerely ask for forgiveness and this person says that they forgive you, so let's talk about that first. If they say that they forgive you and they throw it up, they didn't forgive you. If you're the person that said, I forgive you, and you're throwing it up, you need to now get yourself some help. You need to sit down and I'm not condemning you. I'm serious when I say this. The reason I say that is because of this. you're still trying to hurt that person the way you were hurt. So that's why you keep throwing it up, because you know that he or she is very remorseful. So you know that they're feeling guilty about it. So every time you throw it up, it is you trying to hurt them in the way that they hurt you. Well, one, you're never going to be even. You're not going to be able to hurt them the way that they hurt you. Both of you are hurt, and everybody hurts differently. The other part to that is this. If you've asked for it, you ask that person to forgive you, and now you feel like they should move on. Well, first of all, they can't move on your timetable. Healing is a process. So you have to allow them the time to heal. Now, if you're 3 years, 4 years, or whatever years out, and they're still condemning you, and they still haven't forgiven, they need to actually, again, that's when it's time for them to actually go and talk about, they need to go sit down and talk with some people, because there's some other things going on. It is not just your cheating anymore. There's some other hurt that's bottled up in there that they're intertwining with this. It could be they might be hurt because they feel like your cheating damaged or fractured the marriage. And so it's hard for them to move on, because you fractured what they perceived their fairy tale. So you fractured their fairy tale. So they were in this marriage that they thought was absolutely the best thing ever. They thought everything was great. Both of you guys were, both of you were getting what you needed. So when you went out and cheated, you broke up, you messed up the fairy tale. So you turned their fairy tale into Nightmare on Elm Street, basically, is what is going on. So you remember how Freddie used to have the scissors and all that, and he, basically this is what happened. When you turned it into Nightmare on Elm Street, you cut them in places they didn't know even existed. You cut them in places that they're not healing properly. You've cut them in places, and now some infection has came in. So what I mean, I'm gonna break down what infection means. So the infection, when they cut into, because now they Freddy, and so what happened is the cheater, you're Freddy, you turned their fairy tale into Nightmare on Elm Street. So Freddy, now some of their wounds have got infected, and they're having difficulty healing. So one of that is this. They now have problems with trust. They now have some self-esteem issues, because now they're blaming themselves. They're trying to figure out what about them was not enough. Why were they not enough? Why were they not pretty enough? Was the woman prettier than them? What did she do that they didn't do? Or what did he do that you didn't do? So because of that, it's fractured. It's got some infection. Well, first and foremost, it's time to heal. So if you're having difficulty forgiving, it's time for you to do something. You need to unpack some baggage in your own life, because there were some things that were going on that you put him on a pedestal where he should not have been anyway. Because at the end of the day, we're still human, which means we mess up, we make mistakes, we make errors, we do things that are wrong and improper. We might speak out of turn, and guess what? We might even cheat. We might even lie. We might even be disloyal. So again, we're still human though, so we still, we still make mistakes. So that's the first thing. First thing you need to understand is you put him on a pedestal he should not have been. And now you're having problems because he didn't add up to what you had put him at. Well, you need to understand, he's still a human, or she's still a human. So that's one. The other thing is this. Now you need to sit down and say, what is it about me that his or her inadequacy, her shortcomings or his shortcomings caused him to go out and cheat, or caused her to go out and cheat? Why do I now feel like that's my fault? So there's some things you need to look in yourself. Why do you feel like it's your fault? What about you? What's going on with you that would make you turn that inward and start blaming you? Then you start asking, okay, What could I have done differently? Well, it probably wasn't about you anyway. And then the other part to this is, how was your communication? Were you communicating? And was it effective communication? So that's the other thing. We got to get to effective communication. Now, okay, the damage is done. And maybe now you guys need to figure out what effective communication is. You need to get, because if you're going to forgive this person, even if y'all have divorced and you're separate, you need to forgive. You need to forgive. And again, this is not for him. This is not for her. This is so you can be a beautiful person on the inside so that it'll show up on the outside. Because some of y'all running around here angry and mad at the world because of what JoJo or Lil Lucy did to you. And the whole world should not be responsible for what JoJo and Lil Lucy done did to you. So what I need you to do is I need you to heal. Because come on, have you ever just encountered somebody and they're always angry? They're always mad. Ain't nothing happened. You know, they just always angry. There's some stuff going on in the inside of them. So, and I don't want you to be one of those people. I really don't. So what I need you to do is I need you to start getting some of that infection taken care of. I need you to start healing. So what we need to do is, you need some antibiotics, right? Because you got to heal this infection. So one, you need to sit down and figure out what's going on with me that I feel like I wasn't good enough. Because when you look in that mirror, you should be saying and seeing the blessing that you are. Now, because if you know you were good to this person, then you should know your worth and you should be saying, okay, wait a minute. I know I was good. I know I was a good person. I was good to them. I know all of that. So this isn't about me. That's what you should be saying. But now if you got some infection and you can't forgive quite the way you're supposed to, then it's time you sat down and said, okay, God, I need you to show me. Now, I hate to get churchy on y'all because some of y'all, you're like, oh, I don't want the churchy. But I'm sorry. I'm not religious. I am saved. So sometimes I might get a little churchy. So when I say that, I say this. You might sometimes need to sit down and say, God, okay, help me. Show me. Write down some things. What is it that you've been through that you didn't quite get some healing? Maybe daddy didn't validate you. Maybe daddy didn't come in and tell you he loved you. Maybe daddy didn't come in and tell you you're a beautiful woman. Maybe daddy didn't come in and tell you you are a man. You're a strong, beautiful, wonderfully made individual. Maybe daddy didn't validate you the way that he should have. Maybe mama wasn't affectionate and she didn't show you love. Maybe she didn't tell you that she loved you the way that she needed to. Whatever it is that has caused you to now internalize this thing, it's time for you to start getting that out. And you should be saying, okay, because I'm gonna help you now. If you over 40 and we still blaming mama for our actions, or we still blaming daddy for our actions, that's why you got an infection. Because after you reach 40, you shouldn't be worried about mom and daddy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this. When you out of your 20s anyway, you should not be blaming mom and daddy. But some people are a little slower than others. So it's okay. We're gonna let y'all slide with that. So I'm gonna say 40, okay? So I'm gonna give you 20 years to get rid of this mess, okay? So if you over 40, you should now be saying you can't blame them anymore. And if you are still, if that is still where this hurt and this shortcoming is coming from, that's the infection. That is not that man or that woman's fault that cheated on you. It's because you weren't validated. And so every time you see him, he is reminding you of the shortcoming you think you have. Every time you see her, it is reminding you of the shortcoming you think you have. Maybe that person just made a mistake. Maybe they were just human and they made a mistake. Maybe that person couldn't come to you and say, you know what? I'm not getting what I need from this. We need to sit down and we need to talk. Now, I know this is a little lengthy and I apologize, but I just really felt like you guys really needed to, because it's time to heal. I want you to be beautiful from the inside out. So I need you to heal. Again, I say that because there's people that you're making the person that wronged you feel guilty just because you need to heal, baby. You still got some infection going on. You need to heal. So that's the problem. Some of y'all scared to go out and you won't get married again because that relationship was so bad. Oh, I don't ever want to get married. Because you're scared that you're gonna get hurt again. That's an infection. You need to heal. Because guess what? If that relationship was that bad, then maybe it wasn't you necessarily. Maybe it was two people that were together that weren't supposed to be together. So maybe that's why it felt so toxic, because it was not supposed to be. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? You got connected to the wrong thing. And sometimes whenever you get connected to the wrong thing, you're not going to have no good results from that. It's not going to be good. It's not going to end well because it's the wrong connection. So I want y'all to heal. So again, I want you to live beautifully. Stop running from love. There are people out here that are literally running from love because they don't want to be hurt again. And I'm saying to you, that previous relationship was probably just you were connected to the wrong thing. That's why it was toxic. That's why it was bad. It should have never existed in the first place, but it did. And guess what? Learn a lesson from that. Learn that you don't want another toxic person. Learn that you want to make sure that that person that you're going to be with loves you for you, loves all of you, flaws and all. They turn your flaws into a positive. Listen. When I tell you, when you're connected to the right person, they will love all of you. Okay, I'm telling you, they will love all of you. There's some imperfections. I know it's hard to believe, but I got a couple, okay? But there's some things about me that I don't find cute. And sometimes I'm like, but guess what? I found someone that loved them and loved me regardless, flaws and all. Accepted all of this craziness. And y'all, I'm telling you, if y'all know me, the ones that do know me, y'all know sometimes I can be a little extra, a little dramatic too at times. Let's not get carried away though. But all of this is a whole lot sometimes to take in. But guess what? He took it all in. So again, that's why I'm telling you, you could have been connected to the wrong person. Don't run away from love. It is a beautiful thing when you're connected to the right person. And if you're connected to the right person and they just made a mistake, forgive them. Heal. Get rid of that infection. Get rid of that. Don't regurgitate every time y'all get into all right. Don't do that. Don't throw up the past every time y'all get into an argument or he does something. You can't hurt that man or that woman no more than they've already beat themselves up for because they're remorseful. Go heal, baby. Heal. I want you to live. God died. Jesus died on the cross for you to live. He said that you might have life and life more abundantly. That means you got to actually go out and live it. You don't live in fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but the power of love. Come on, love, and of a sound mind. That means your mind, because if this right here is right and is sound, you can love without barriers. You can love without fear. You can love without blame, without rejection. You can love. And when you begin to truly love, you will live. Live. Now I'm going to go because this got a little long, but I really do. I hope that this reached out to those that reached out to me and let you know it's okay, baby. You got to move on. If they haven't forgiven you, you got to move on for you. Maybe they just ain't ready and you got to move on for you. Don't wallow in guilt. Don't wallow in that no more. Let it all go. You've asked for forgiveness. You're sincere about it. That's all you can do. Let it go. Now, until next time, I want to give you a hug. Oh, I'm going to give you a hug and tell you that I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. And until next time, this is Stacy's Closet.